this computer. All right, there we go. Well, first of all, thank you very much for everybody that's joined us this evening. I really, really appreciate it. I think we've put together some information for you tonight. Actually, I know we've put together some information for you tonight that will have a real impact on the importance of the business that we're involved in, your comfort level in the business, the state of the nation, and just some personal stories along the way. But what I want to do for you guys in order to get us started, I'm going to just explain the flow of the way the call is going to go. And then I'm going to read the bios of myself and Jason and Mike, and then we'll get right into it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the state of the nation, where we are today. And then Jason's going to share his story about what attracted him to Juice Plus and what he's been able to do really in a relatively short amount of time. We call Jason our newest rising star because he jumped in with both feet and it's just really making things happen. And then we're going to roll over to Mike Ewald, and he's going to wrap things up for us, and then we'll have some Q&A. But just real quickly, just some bios, a little bit about myself. I'm married to Wendy. I have two adult children. I've been a lifelong athlete. I played tennis and soccer through high school and college, and I played soccer through all 4 years of school. And I've been in endurance sports ever since. I've been doing marathons, triathlons, mountain bike racing, that type of stuff for 40 years. I'm a third generation entrepreneur, and I share that with you. If you can mute yourself, I think it's probably the car that we're hearing right now. Let's see if I can mute you. If you're able to mute yourself, you're on an iPhone and you're in a car, that would be extremely helpful. Appreciate that. Thank you. Third generation entrepreneur. My grandfather started Erdmann Supply Company, which was a plumbing supply company that he started, ran, and sold. My dad actually started two companies, ended up two manufacturing companies, one in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and one in Lexington, Kentucky, which then he sold both of those businesses as well about 25 years ago. And I've been an entrepreneur, had my own business for the last 30 years. And I've been privileged to do business in China, United States, Mexico, Canada, and Europe. And I share that with you just because I want you to understand my paradigm as I share some things with you from the business side of tonight. So I just wanted you to know my background there. And then Jason Reinhardt is married to Kelly, has two boys, Cole and Brady. He's been an athlete all of his life as well, at a little bit higher level than I ever was because he actually played college football and professional football. He's also an entrepreneur, so we're brothers as far as starting businesses together. He's the owner and founder of Go Mad Fitness, and that MAD stands for Make a Difference. So Go Make a Difference. I love that name. He's been in the fitness industry for 21 years, and he owns four, I believe, 24-hour gyms in both Ohio and Michigan. And the thing that I learned about him in getting ready for this call tonight that I had to look up and do some research on, he's actually chairman of the board for the International Health Racket Sports Club Association. And listen to their vision statement or their mission statement. It's so awesome. They're committed to grow, protect, and promote the health and fitness of the fitness industry and to provide its members with the benefits that will help them be more successful. So my hat's off to you, Jason. That's a big role that you're stepping into there to serve your own industry. Really appreciate that. And then we're going to finish up with Mike Ewald. And Mike is married to Karen. He has 3 adult children. And he also loves fitness. One of Mike's big fun accomplishments on the fitness side of things is a few years ago, Mike actually rode his bicycle from Ohio to Florida just for grins, just because he could. And what a great adventure. I got to share that adventure with him along the way. I didn't ride with him, but we stayed in touch along the way. Mike and I have been friends for going on 30 years now. So we've had a great, good, long relationship. But Mike also has reached the highest level of the company. As a presidential marketing director at Plus, which means that he has built one of the largest organizations in all of Juice Plus. Mike is a chiropractor, and he was able to retire from his very busy chiropractic business. He was a chiropractor to professional sports teams here in Dayton. to do Juice Plus full time. And so he's going to share some of his story along the way. But I want to wrap up these bios here real quickly because we shared that with you just so you know who we are and what our backgrounds are, so you know where we're coming from when we share with you. But the most important bio that matters tonight is who you are. And I say that because I want you guys to know that it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, or where you are in life, you can be successful in this business. And I can tell you that I have met a lady that drove a cross-country truck who went to national marketing director from the cab of her truck. I've met doctors, I've met attorneys, I've met kids that are, in their young 20s, all of which have turned this business into just a super, from secondary income to full-time plus income. And I want you to know that, again, because there's no barriers to entry and there's no glass ceiling. So let me get right into State of the Nation here. And I did some research for us tonight. And I don't want to add to anybody's stress because I know the whole coronavirus thing is stressful enough. And we all know that our economy is going through a hard time right now. And that hard time, unfortunately, is going to take a while for us to grow out of that. But I'm going to share some key economic indicators with you guys. And I need to check my notes here as I go because I don't want to miss anything. But there was a study that I found just today that was just released that 50% of the workforce has either lost their job or lost income from just within the last 5 weeks. Okay, just within the last 5 weeks. That's incredible. And I'm going to touch more on that. That's about 80 million people that have had their income directly impacted because of the coronavirus. And the way that we're going, it's possible that the unemployment rate could reach 25%. And that's equal to the unemployment rate that we had in the Great Depression of the 1930s. It was about a 25% unemployment rate. In the last 3 weeks, we have lost 15 million jobs. It took 18 months during the recession of 2008 to lose 15 million jobs. We've done it in the last 3 weeks. Just absolutely unheard of, unprecedented times that we're in right now. And the 2008 recession, that officially lasted just 18 months because a recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, gross domestic product. But it actually took us almost 6 years to get back to where we were pre-recession, pre-2008. So it took about a 6-year span to recover. So I'm sharing that with you because I want you to know that even though as the states are starting to move to loosen things up as far as business is concerned, it's going to take a long time for us to get back to where we were just a few short months ago. And so I looked up, I thought this would be kind of interesting, how's the unemployment rate calculated? It's actually new unemployment claims plus existing unemployment plus estimated claims to come divided by the labor force. So we've had 26 million new claims. We had 7 million existing, and we have, 4 estimated come, 4 million estimated comes to 37 million. And you divide that by 162 million that are in the workforce, we've got a 23% unemployment rate right now. So we are creeping up on what we were in the Great Depression on that. And the economic impact is global in scope. And United States is the main engine. We drive the world economy. So when we slow down, low tides sink all boats and high tides raise all boats. And right now, unfortunately, we're seeing that low tide bringing all boats down. So this recovery is not going to, we're not going to get out of this recovery quickly. So I share that with you. That's enough bad news, enough adding to our stress, right? I'm a very positive person. I believe the glass is half full. I believe our economy was super strong and we're going to pull back from this. But as men, we have to assess what we currently have in our toolbox. And we also need to decide what do we need to add to it to make sure we can do our job, do the job that we're being called to ahead. And what I'm going to suggest to you tonight is that we need to add the Juice Plus business to your toolbox. And I'm going to share a personal story. You're going to hear 3 personal stories as to why we've done that. And there's so much more to this business than you're going to hear this evening. And I did a talk a couple years ago that was spread throughout all of Juice Plus. I was asked to do it for the men of the entire Juice Plus community about the big picture of the Juice Plus business. And I want to recommend to you to listen to that when you can, because that'll give you a much bigger picture than we're going to do tonight. And what you want to do is you want to go to campbellteam.net. That's CAMPBELL team.net. That's a website. Then the password is Campbell Team, all lowercase, one word. And then as soon as you get into the homepage, you go to call series, and then you go to men's call, and then you scroll down to, let's see, 2017. I forget the month that it was in, but you'll find me back down in 2017. I think it was June or July. But I'll post that on our Facebook page as well as our Boxer page. But that's really where you can get some, I really go into detail there. So I'm going to close my time here with you guys tonight because I want to turn it over to Jason, and I want to get Mike on here as well. But I have 5 main points of our business real quickly that I want you to think about tonight as you're hearing these guys' stories. Think about the foundation I just laid about where we are and the fact that it's going to take some time, a long time, for us to get back to where we were, and how this vehicle can help you with that. So number one, our business, we are privately held, financially secure, and debt-free. And why is that important to us is that we don't have to answer to Wall Street, and we don't have to answer to the banks. Our business fills 2 of the greatest needs of people around the world. That's their health and their wealth. Doesn't matter where you go on this globe, if you talk to people and they're honest, they will tell you that my health is most important, and secondly, I got to have finances to take care of my family. And that's a big piece for the men, you know, as far as being, I know that everybody works today, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Number 3, our business thrives in uncertain times. During the recession of 2008, our business grew at a rapid rate, so we are unaffected by economic downturns. Actually, it's an inverse for us. We grow when economies go down. You're actually building an asset that you own. So you're not just doing this like trading hours for dollars. You're actually building something. It's not brick and mortar. It's not like Jason, who owns 4 gyms and 4 buildings, but it is an asset. It is a business that you own. And number 5, we're designed for longevity. And I share that with you because you can have confidence in investing your time into this business on that. So, and I'm going to close with this personal story real quickly here, because I've lived everything that I just told you about. When we hit the recession of 2008, our other business, everything I do is tied to manufacturing, and we had what I call the perfect storm in life. Our business, we lost 40% of our revenues in less than a year, and I really wondered if we were going to make it. For Wendy and I, our entire retirement was in the stock market, and you may recall the stock market went from 14,000 down to 7,000. The Dow did in about 12 months. So we lost half of our life savings. So we had our business almost full. We lost half of our life savings, and on top of that, our house lost value because of the great, the housing crisis that we went through. But we had one thing that actually continued to grow, and that was our Juice Plus business. And that's because of the foundation that I was just telling you guys about. So I want you to know that I've lived it. This is real. And I'm talking to you from lifetime of experience. So that's what I wanted to do to get us started tonight. And Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you. And if you don't mind just turning it over to Mike when you're finished, that would be great.
Thanks, Brian. Ryan, man, I wish it was an adult beverage party. I would have brought a beer to cheers you, man. I didn't know. And I know it's not root beer, so you can't tell me otherwise. After the call, I'll grab one and do a virtual cheers to you. But no, thank you for the introduction. And just to kind of, start several years ago, went to a small college, a Division II school up in Midland, Michigan, Northwood University. And, fortunately had a football scholarship, but they definitely were not known for sports. At the time, my freshman year, we went 2-8, and we were the Northwood Northmen. And I couldn't even tell you what that mascot looked like. And fortunately, my junior year and senior year, I was a two-year team captain along with others. And Our junior year in college, we voted to bring on the mascot of the Timberwolves. So Northwood Timberwolves, which they still are today, was born. And I'm happy to say my senior year, we finished 7-3 and had a respectable season. Along with that transition over the 4 years, my junior year was myself and 3 seniors as far as team captains, and along with Coach Rietma at the time, came up with a slogan, "Go Mad." And it was funny because we printed out a word on each piece of paper in a Word document and hung it in the locker. And Coach came in not knowing really what it was all about and ripped it down and thinking it was a joke. And we said, hey, it means go make a difference. Everything you do and preach, everything from the way we eat and work out and practice and play, everything we do in our program is to make a difference on and off the field. And long story short, now here we are, 25 years later, and the stadium's named after it. And it has a big, Go Mad sign that the players walk in and out of. And I've been fortunate to be invited back at least once a year to talk to the team and just rally up the troops, which I take as an extreme honor. And so accelerating full speed ahead, I was fortunate enough to play a few years after that in the Arena League, and I played over in Germany for the Monarchs, and I was just trying any which way I could to make it on a team. And after being bounced around, I found myself always working out in the health clubs in the off season. And I had a manager at the time down in Fort Worth, Texas, say, "Hey, you should work here. You're here all day working out." And I said, "No, thanks. I'm a football player. I'm not interested in working in a gym." Well, long story short, he talked me into selling gym memberships. And here I am 21 years later in the health and fitness business. And so I still thank Greg Stover for taking an interest in me as a person and inviting me to join his team forever ago. And what was interesting, 7 years ago, I had my first child. His name's Cole. He's now 11, so he was born before that. But I was chasing the corporate ladder. I was the vice president of sales for 26 health clubs in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Worked very long hours. The commute was terrible. I would leave at 6 a.m. to make an 8:30 meeting. I would leave at 5, 6 o'clock at night in hopes to make it home for dinner. And what I found is that I would leave the house before he was awake, and I'd get home at night when he was asleep. And I'm like, you know what a crappy dad. And so January of 2013, I told my wife, living in Washington, D.C., I said, I'm going to start my company. And she said, yeah, let me know how that works out. And so with her unbridled support, I called Powerhouse Gym here in Monroe, Michigan, where my wife's from. And I said, have you ever thought about selling your facility? And he says, well, what do you have in mind? And I said, well, I don't want to come there for coffee. If you have an interest, I'll fly there and we can discuss it. Long story short, May of 2013, we closed and Go Mad Fitness was born. Ever since I left Northwood, I swore one day, because of how much of an impact the slogan Go Mad has had on me, that I was going to start a company. And so next month's our 7-year anniversary, where Go Mad Fitness, once again, like Brian said, means go make a difference, was founded. And since then, I've started 2 programs or 2 businesses. One is a full service, so I have 2 of those, 25,000 square feet. And then I have an express model, which is 5,000 to 8,000 square feet, all open 24/7, 3 in Southeast Michigan and 1 in Northwest Ohio. And the thing that really intrigued me about Juice Plus, I know Ryan and I, funny enough, we meet for the second time today, but Ryan, Holly's husband, Ryan, and just virtually met today. But last October, November, I was seeing some social media posts from Holly about Juice Plus and hearing about Ryan coaching in the NFL. And, NFL's got very, very tight guidelines, and he's got access to everything in the world as far as nutrition and vitamins and this and that. So I'm like, well, if he is promoting it and she's promoting it, and knowing Holly from college, I said, tell me a little bit more about that. And then I saw the page, Team Integrity, making a difference. And I'm like, man, the writing's on the wall. Not only is the product amazing, and then I did a little bit more research, and then I jumped on 4 conference calls, and then I saw it's NSF sports certified and, approved for Olympic athletes and pro athletes if they choose to take it, and seeing how they're trying to get families involved and how the kids are free. And it just all made sense. And all my life, I've been trying my best to put good things into my body, and I've been preaching it to our clients and our members and our staff. And listen, I dip every vegetable I eat in ranch. And so I do not eat enough whole food nutrition. And so when I saw how it was made and how it was processed and how it was flash frozen, I was all in. And like anything in life, you know, whether spouse, husband, business owner, friend, volunteer coach, I try to do it to my fullest ability. And so before I pull the trigger, I wanted to make sure not only not the brand that I've built, but also my reputation would never be tarnished. And so knowing that the same guy since 1970 has owned it is impressive. The 40 plus clinical research was very impressive. 23 countries is mind blowing. And then again, just the simplicity of it. You don't have a catalog that's overwhelming and confusing to select from or choose from. It's fruit and vegetables. And oh, by the way, you have berries for antioxidants and omegas for body inflammation and much more. It's just really simple, and it's simple to talk about. It's whole food nutrition made easy is what's worked for me. I love all these 9-year and 20-year, and I am a rookie all over again. I haven't even hit my 60th day yet, and I've already been put in for a promotion for, I think it's qualified sales coordinator. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it's really just been simple to share the message about we're all in a tough situation right now. We're all looking for balance. And here's an easy way to do it that's delivered to your front door, by the way. And so that's really how I've kind of shared the message. And now even the protein powders, I add into my kids' pancake batter in the mornings, and they love the gummies. And anyway, so I'll stop rambling on, but it's really been the simplicity, the purity, the longevity, and really the people involved is really what got me. And, you know, one of the people on here, James, you know, he's been my top personal trainer for 5 years in a row, been so successful that we kind of kicked him out of the nest. And now he's over in East Ohio running a successful personal training business on his own. And those are the kind of people I said, listen, you just got to trust me and join the team, and everything else will fall into place. And he did that less than 30 days ago, and he's already built a team under him. And I think we get caught up in talking about building teams and building a business, but I think if we just share the good news about a pure product that's good for our bodies, everything else will fall into place. And that's what I've enjoyed about it. I don't feel like I'm selling. I'm not trying to convince you to switch your long distance carrier or to upgrade your phone. I'm talking about something that you can easily digest that'll be better for your body. And no, trust me, in the health club business, everybody in the world is looking for the magic pill to take and not have to ever work out again in their life. Ryan, your wife raised her hand for that earlier. And I have not invented that yet. The day I do, I'll invite all of you to join my team. But for now, you have to physically exercise and watch what you put into your bodies. And so knowing that, the simplicity of just sharing whole food nutrition, the way that Juice Plus has given us that platform to do, has been just super, super easy, even in a shutdown mode. 2 days ago, the Ohio governor just told us, here's my 3 phases. And oh, by the way, gyms and restaurants, I don't have a date for. 5 days ago, the Michigan governor said, hey, here's my phases through the 15th of May. Oh, by the way, gyms are not included in that. So I have been shut down for over a month. Looks like I'll be shut down for at least another month. But this is kind of giving me something to really rally behind and share. So open for suggestions, still a rookie. And, appreciate you taking the time to hear my journey. Thanks, Bryan. And now I'll turn it over to the super guru on the call, I guess, Mr. Mike.
Well, Jason, thank you so much. And Bryan, really appreciate the opportunity. Jason, you inspire me. I am pumped up. I can relate so much to your story, and I'll try to intertwine that. But background in chiropractic and really enjoyed that. That was, much like a health club or, any kind of business helping people. It's very gratifying. And we had a family practice here in Dayton. Prayed for just a huge practice, early on. I got excited. I played football, never at your level, Jason, but high school football. And that's where I got hurt, injured my neck. Long story short, I ended up at a chiropractor's office. And I just thought, man, I want to do this. And I went for it. I went through a electrical apprenticeship kind of as a means to an end. My dad died young, so we didn't have any money to go to school. But anyhow, went through chiropractic college and set up a practice in Dayton and just thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of work for me, any business. And I kind of wrote down some of the different businesses here that I recognize the names, but I don't care if you're a massage therapist or a fitness facility owner or a soap manufacturer, or a football coach. It is about numbers, and we put some systems in place in my practice that I learned from some friends, and just had a great practice. Worked with a number of sports teams, worked with the Dayton Dragons baseball team for 10 years, and the Dayton Bombers hockey team, which is a East Coast Hockey League back in the day, and a soccer team, and just thoroughly enjoyed all that, was making a difference. And the problem is, though, I was just working crazy hours. I'm a workaholic. And again, Jason, I can relate to what you shared about being a bad dad. And not that I meant to be a bad dad, but when you're working, 10, 12 hours a day sometimes, it was crazy. And nutrition was a big part of that. We never pushed a bunch of supplements or anything like that, but we did push a clean diet. We even had juicers in our office at one time. We'd take patients back in the kitchen and give them kind of a juicing 101 class and send them home with a champion juicer. And if they liked it, great, they could follow up with it. But the fact is that was a total failure. Nobody's going to go juice. And anyhow, 22 years ago, Juice Plus came along. And, I really liked the concept. Again, we were already into whole food, like I said, fruits and vegetables in a capsule. How much easier could it get? The business opportunity, I'll be honest with you guys, we had a bad experience in chiropractic college with another, what I thought this was. And I nicely told them, I said, I'll try your product, but I don't want anything to do with your stupid business. And again, that was my attitude at the time. But we added it to our diet, and I can't tell you I had any miraculous changes. I noticed like my fingernail, my hair seemed healthier. But what was interesting was our oldest son at the time, he would have been, I'm actually sitting in his basement. I just arrived in Chicago, but anyhow, it's funny that I'm sharing this, but he had a little bit of acne. And what was interesting, after about 3 months of eating Juice Plus, his skin cleared up. And I thought, wow, it had to be the Juice Plus. And of course, we make no claims. Juice Plus cures nothing, but it had to be, the Juice Plus. So it was really that experience that caused us to go to a conference in San Diego in March of '99, really to get away from Ohio. But we went and checked out the company, and I was impressed. It wasn't any hype. It was good people surrounded by a great product. And at that time, they had 3 studies behind Juice Plus, which if that's all they had today, it would still be more than pretty much anything else out there. Of course, now they've got 41 published studies, as was mentioned. And that's really what gave me the confidence and the credibility to share it with others. And we came back from that conference really, the how-to or the basics, much like my practice, the goal was to get new patients in the door. We always shot for about 40 new patients a month. Sometimes we would have more than that, but, it was all about helping people, but it's also a business. And I can't imagine somebody with 4 facilities, what the overhead is on that. That just, you definitely can generate a lot of income, but there's a lot of income going out. And, I got excited at that conference. I learned about the residual income aspect of things, where as a chiropractor, if I'm not treating patients, I'm not getting paid. And, I couldn't imagine, Jason, in your story, if my practice was closed for a month, that would be devastating to my bottom line. And I'm sure it is. And, I saw an opportunity to kind of create a secondary income. The other thing that really got me excited at that first conference was the benefit package. Being self-employed, we always provided our own benefits, which wasn't much, but the benefit package really caught my attention. Full medical, dental, disability, life, all of that. I was excited about that. And again, we just came home from that conference and started sharing. I don't push anything on anyone, but we do share truth with people. The bottom line is you got to eat more fruits and vegetables if you want to get healthier. This is not in place of eating right, but this is a simple way to get more fruits and vegetables. And I would just share with my patients, I'd say something like, Bryan, if you were my patient, I know your history, I've gotten to know you a little bit. And I just say, Bryan, I want you to check out this YouTube video. A guy named Dr. Du Bois talks about the connection between nutrition and disease. It also talks about a product called Juice Plus, which I've been taking now for 22 years. I love it. There's a ton of science behind it. Check it out, and I'll give you a call in a couple of days to see if you have any interest or questions. And, I make a strong recommendation. This is what I take, check it out. And then we follow up with them. Now I will say, and more for those of you that might have like a clinical setting or where you have a large clientele base, I would tell patients when I was in the office, check out this YouTube video. And then a couple of days, my wellness coordinator, Karen, will be giving you a call to follow up to see if you have any questions or interest. So I kind of turned it over to that third person to help with the follow-up. Now most of us, we're going to want to do the follow-up ourselves because we've we've established the relationship. But anyhow, by sharing consistently, and that's the key, you can treat this like a hobby and, generate a hobby type income. But if you work at it consistently, I have been amazed. And I can say this, the last 20 years that we've been focused on sharing Juice Plus, our income has gone up consistently all those years. And, when you think about some of the things that we're talking about, 9/11 and, the housing crisis, 2007, 8, 9, my chiropractic practice, I can't say that. It definitely took some hits here and there, but my Juice Plus income continued to go up. And, my early goal in this, when we came back from that first conference, I thought, boy, if I could generate enough income to just pay for my overhead every month, that would be awesome. And we were able to do that. And we were able to pay for our house payment. We have 265 acres down in Southern Ohio in Adams County. We were able to, buy that farm. We've owned that now for 20 years. And it's been great. And it's not about the money. Juice Plus, first and foremost, is the best thing that we can be sharing with people. But because of that growth in income, and I tell people that I'm a lot better grandpa than I was a dad, but even back when I was 45, I was able to semi-retire because of Juice Plus. I went down to 3 days a week. I sold a large practice. We had about 14,000 patient files that went with it. And I just wanted to treat patients. And I practiced for 10 years like that. And then at the age of 55, I was able to retire full-time into this mission. And I believe in it. I love it. The company is awesome, 50-year-old company. Bryan shared a lot of things about it, but a multi-billion-dollar company that last month in March, we had one of our best months ever. A lot of people right now cannot say that. And I say that humbly and very grateful. But, this has really put nutrition and health into the forefront. So I would encourage you guys to just plug into the system. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Events are everything. This is an event right here, inviting, prospects or folks that don't know anything about the connection between nutrition and disease. Invite those folks to events, let other people share their story, and, great things are going to happen. If you guys aren't on Voxer, I would encourage you to get on Voxer. That is our primary communication and education tool that will help you leverage your time. That business presentation that Bryan did, it's a great overview. If you're talking to somebody about prospectively joining our team, joining our mission, you're going to want to share that with them. And it's been great, guys. I just can't imagine my life now without Juice Plus. It's definitely given me a lot of freedom and flexibility. I came up here today. I'm going to hang with my son and his 3 kids. I've been remodeling his kitchen. I'm hoping I can finish it this trip. But just, as a chiropractor, again, great income. But for me to take a week here and there, it's just hard. It's just hard when you're not there, as many of you know. So just would encourage you, plug into the system. It's never been better. All these bonuses, they didn't have all this stuff when I started. And I can tell you that it does continue to get better every year. And, I just think that the best really is yet to come. People are more aware with this pandemic. They're more aware of health. And we don't cure anything, but when you look at our immune studies and what that's done, it's impressive. And people everywhere on the planet need Juice Plus. So I don't know where I'm at time-wise, Bryan, but I just...
Mike, I appreciate everything that you shared, and you're fine. Obviously, guys, if anybody needs to leave, we totally understand that. Hopefully you can hang on with us a little bit longer. But what I'd love to do, Mike, if you're okay with it, is just to maybe open it up to Q&A for a few minutes.
Sure. Absolutely.
So if you guys want to unmute yourself, if you have a question or a comment for anybody, we'd love to field those for you.
Go ahead, Kevin.
This is just a comment, but we all get all these pitches on the internet about this nutrient or that product that you need to be taking, and I always compare it to Juice Plus, and it's always funny because I go back and I look over the Juice Plus product and I found out, oh yeah, we already have that in, it's already taken care of. And it's every time. I've never had one of these times where you say, well, that's not in the Juice Plus. Well, it is. And so that's really bolstered my confidence when I take it. And somebody asks me about it, I can say, yeah, I don't care what your problem is. This has it in there. So it's good stuff.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate
I have a question, guys. Since I'm the rookie, is there a tagline or an easy way to promote and market it? You know, I'm a believer that people read top to bottom, left to right. So if the subject line doesn't catch my attention as I scroll through my hundreds of emails a day, then you probably are going to get deleted before even read. And so obviously, what's a catchy phrase that someone's used when you're doing email marketing for Juice Plus to get people to even open it? And then, whether it's a text, whether it's a tweet, whether it's an Instagram, whether it's a Facebook, whether it's conversation, in my short time, I've just said whole food nutrition made simple. Is there anyone else that has something that's worked, or what's your go-to? Anybody have anything they'd like to share that would help me?
Juice Plus really is the next best thing to fruits and vegetables. We use that a lot. That's kind of our slogan, but whole food nutrition and like what Ken said, I love the simplicity of it, but it's really broad spectrum. When you're talking over 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries all at once, that's pretty powerful. You may be into turmeric or vitamin D or, whatever you're into, but the bottom line is Juice Plus is foundational nutrition. And if you're not eating wide variety fruits and vegetables and lots of it every day, you need to check this out and add it to your diet. But I don't know, guys, what kind of slogans or I will tell you, guys, I am not a technology guru at all. So I have fallen behind, in that sphere of things. I know that is the future, but mine was face-to-face, person-to-person. That's how we were able to build our organization and our incredible team. And what's exciting is you can build it so much faster now with technology.
So one thing I'll add there is that, in the Juice Plus community, plagiarism is recommended. Everybody shares everything. So it's great to do that. And actually, Jason, your sponsor is on our organization. In our organization, Holly is the most successful online person that we have in our entire team. And, she's the one to watch. She's the one I watch to see what she's putting out there. She's got that dialed in better than anybody I know.
Okay.
I can offer a couple. This is Henry.
Well, Henry, let me introduce you real quick. So Henry is in our organization also underneath Wendy's sister, but he's a rock star as well. So glad you could be here tonight, Henry. Thanks for making the time.
No, thank you. I don't know about rock star, but
yeah,
I get out there and talk to people.
Your record speaks for itself.
Thank you. So I think, was it Jason, you asked that question about like taglines and things to write in your emails and marketing stuff?
Yes, sir.
So, I've been going through this leadership training and just trying to figure out like how to best talk to my audience and dividing up into 4 different audiences. So if you're talking to an analyzer, then you use certain words like the research. You dive into step by step. What are some of the results that you can find? And so in the tagline, instead of saying fruits and vegetables, right? You say something like 3 ways to increase your athletic performance. And so that creates it piques that intrigue for those analyzers. But if your audience is going out to someone like a promoter, we also call those your action-oriented people. Those are the people that like to dive in. They don't really care about all the little details. They love just like the community aspect of it. Then using a tagline like, here, I got a couple on here. Let's see here. So here's one that Jeff Olson uses. Have you ever heard of Jeff Olson before?
I have.
So he has a bunch of great webinars that he puts together. They are on his, I think it's Food Agents. I can send you the link to his YouTube channel. But he uses Plant Powders FX, or Food Conditioning, or Influencer Gone Pro, Performance, Influence, and Income. says, one of his taglines is sponsorship plus. Let's see what else. Human performance and nutrition. Deeper level, beyond macros, blind spots. I mean, just all sorts of different taglines like that. So, I mean, if you want to connect that outside of this too, I can help you with that too.
No, that's good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it, Henry.
Thanks, Henry.
Yep.
Anybody else have a question for Mike or Jason, or just the group, or just comments?
Yes, I got a question.
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, I was just wondering, do you guys have like a go-to video that you guys share out the a prospect or a customer besides like the Jumpstart the Better Health? That's usually the one I've been sending, but I didn't know if you guys had a specific one that worked for you guys.
James, have you gotten on the Healthy Living Revolution site?
Freedom Revolution?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on that.
But you can play on the different sites, whatever videos you like. I've always appreciated everybody, but Dr. Du Bois early on was kind of my go-to guy, but that was back in cassettes and then DVDs and now all online videos. Again, just to tell you where I'm at. But you got Henry and you got Mike, totally different spectrums. But I like the video John Blair does on how Juice Plus is made, depending upon the person. Anything by Du Bois, Meet to Ray, they're all awesome videos. And of course, you're talking about the one with Jan Roberto, and I would just get on and just start looking at them and seeing which ones you can relate to and you want to share with others. So there's a little bit of time there looking at some of the different YouTube videos.
So James, I'll tell you, a lot of it for me just depends on how the conversation went. Like I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, and he was asking me some questions about the farmers and stuff like that. So I sent him the one that Mike was just talking about, John Blair, on how Juice Plus is made, because that just fell right into what his interest was. Kind of like what Henry was saying, it was obvious that he was interested in what really is Juice Plus, and that one was perfect. So I'm hoping tomorrow to follow up with him. The fortune's in the follow-up. I know Mike kind of touched on that, but that's a true statement as well. So let's do one more question, and then I'll wrap everything up for us here. Doug, how about you? I know you've got a long history of business.
He's on mute.
Yeah.
There we go. The funny thing for me is I'm amazed at how many people come to me when I talk to them about it. And of course, talk about rookies. I mean, I'm as rookie as it gets. But how many people come to me and say, well, if you're getting all this nutrition from these Juice Plus tablets, why do I need to eat? Well, I'm not really sure how to go about answering that, I mean, because it's like, you're getting, the 13 different, fruits and vegetables and everything. And they're like, well, if that's the case, then what is it that you need to eat and why should you?
Well, for me, the best fuel is fruits and vegetables. And what the experts say, even our government now is saying, you need between the latest figures, 9 or more servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And it's not just adding Juice Plus to your diet, but you need to quit eating, all those donuts, the fast food, you're drinking, a liter of pop a day. I want to help you with that too. But you got to be eating something. And the best fuel is fruits and vegetables. Juice Plus is not going to replace that. It's a huge first step. You're going to get a lot of nutrition, a lot of variety of all that stuff found in those plants. But still, we want you eating more. You need fiber. You need more fruits and vegetables. The more is better. And
okay.
And I'll even tell my friends and patients back in the day that were sick, I even recommended they doubling up or even tripling up. If they were going through cardiovascular issues or cancer, more is better. So it's not in place of eating right. We don't ever want to imply that, but it's definitely a great first step.
Well, I can tell you that I have here in the last week and a half, I've been taking the Juice Plus for about 6 months. and I have RA. And I will say that once I've doubled up on it, once in the morning and once in the evening, I have seen a pretty significant jump in my energy level, the brain fog, and I do find out the whole flares as far as the joint pain and that type of thing has seemed to subside a little.
Yeah, and that, I tell you, that is huge, Doug. And you know, I don't know if you're doing Reminate injections or any kind of stuff for the RA, but I know some of the treatments can be pretty toxic and pretty powerful. And if Juice Plus just relieves some of your symptoms, and hopefully if you are doing any kind of treatments, if it could extend that out, you know, instead of every so many months, maybe every year or something, to me, that's a grand slam. You know, it's not, probably not going to cure your RA. I about guarantee that, but it's going to go a long way in reducing the symptoms and, you know, definitely prolonging life, in my opinion, quality wise.
So what would be your suggestion then? I mean, I do injections, once a week, and then I take a daily dosage. When is it, or how do you know when to kind of start trying to back off of that?
Well, that's
As
out
far
of my
as-
scope of practice. I'm just a good old
Okay.
chiropractor, but I would think that your physician is monitoring some blood or something. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, every 3
Yeah.
months.
You know, and if you're telling them I'm feeling more energy and, you know, less pain and symptoms, you know, along with whatever your clinical work is looking like, I would think, you know, again, I can't tell you as far as reducing medication or any of that, but I just know more Juice Plus is better. You know, someone like
Okay.
you, I would even consider doubling it up.
Yeah. Okay. Like I
Especially,
said, I have been for a couple weeks now.
yeah, especially on the greens. Green produce builds and restores tissues. Fruits, they cleanse you out. You know, if you're clogged up, you want to be eating lots of fruits. You know, so I would encourage, you know, doubling up on your greens and your purples, your vineyard, because of vascular flow.
Okay.
Anyhow, that's an extra sidebar, but whatever. I don't have any science to back that up, but it just makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
Hey,
guys.
Hey, Mike, Brian, this is Jay. If
Colonel.
you can connect me and the gentleman just speaking, I'll share my RA story with him throughout the last 10 years. Offline,
Awesome.
we can connect up. I got lots to share with you.
Yeah, Doug,
Great.
I'll put you in check. That was Jay Strickler. Jay's been on Juice Plus for several years now, but he has an RA story. He's an ex-fighter pilot, and it's an amazing story. So I will get Denny Jay's contact information, and then she can get that to you.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hey, really quick in the chat, I had put in, so I've gone through a ton, Brian knows about this. I've put in a lot of videos into categories in the topics. And so if you're speaking to, let's say, an athlete, then you can go to that YouTube channel and look up JP Plus athletes. But I also have JP Plus autoimmune, JP Plus chiropractors, JP Plus like even subtopics like gymnastics and swimming, stuff like that. So
Hey,
also,
Henry, sorry, would you send me a Voxer with how to find that, and then I'll share that with the team. And James, that would probably be really helpful for you. He did an awesome job of categorizing stuff. So all you have to do is like, oh, here's a heading, and this video talks about that. And he cataloged that. It was a heck of an exercise, but it was wonderful. So appreciate that, Henry. Well, let me close this out with just this summary statement. Sorry, did somebody else want to say something? I just want to summarize with this. You heard stories tonight of real life, of what's going on with everybody. I opened up intentionally this morning by telling everybody, you know, where our economy is, the amount of time it's going to take to come out of this, and the fact that half of the workforce in the United States has been impacted either by losing their job or having their income reduced. You guys, the market has never been better for a company like ours to share and to make other people aware of this. And when I was talking about having something in your toolbox, you know, the reality of it is I don't want to be 6 months down the road and have any of you guys say, man, I wish I would have got it back when we were on that one call. because what you invest now, you know, if you're willing to do some things now, 6 months from now, it's going to be growing and things are going to be happening, and you're going to be glad that you invested your time. So that's why we were here tonight. We just want to share our hearts with all you guys. Mike and Jason, thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. Henry, thank you for stepping up and sharing so much. And the last thing I want to say is, you know, be on Voxer. Let your upline know if you have any types of questions. Mike and I, and you know, we are here to help you guys. And I'm sure Jason feels the same way for his organization. So, all right. Thank you so much, you guys. Really, really appreciate it. We'll see you
Cheers.
soon. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Hey,
Thanks, Brian.
good night.